Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I hope that life is treating you with all the good things that you're hoping for and desiring. And most importantly, I hope that you're staying safe and healthy. In this video, I would like to discuss with you the importance of our communication, the words that we choose to speak in our interactions that we have each and every day. Many of us are not realizing that the words that we're speaking may not be exactly what we feel or intending, but we're so used to using the words that it becomes actually a detriment to the joy and the happiness and the peace and the abundance and the love that we want. It's not something that we intend on doing, but it's by habit that we do this, and our brains listen to what we choose to speak. And so they become part of this. If we're continuously saying something to our brain, it will take it on as a habit. I consider it to be a brainwave. So if that brainwave has been convinced of you using certain words, then it has no other choice, just like the universe doesn't have the ability to decipher right or wrong. It's just going to feed you back what you're telling it. So if you make a belief system out of certain terms, words, phrases, beliefs, then that is going to create your reality. And I've come over the years of doing many counseling appointments, over 20 years of doing intuitive counseling. I've listened to people speak, and many of those people, most people in fact, use these 4 words that I'd like to discuss with you today. Each one of these words does not give us a definite foundation of empowerment. What it does do, it leaves us in a state of confusion and chance. And that can create a lot of wasted time and certainly doesn't lead us in the direction of our greatest and highest good. So I'd like to go over each one of these words and how important it is for you to stay focused and attentive to how often you use them. I promise you, if you listen to those around you who are speaking, you'll hear these words so often. And to me, they truly are a detriment and a discouragement to our greatest good. So the first word, which I'm not overly upset with, but it's a frustrating word, is the word if. So many of us use this word. And if is a word that is based on speculation, chance, or an idea. It does not have a connection to reality. And so those of us who want happiness in our lives and want true love and blessings in our world, we can't leave that up to chance. We have to create it by a positive way of thinking. We have to be focused on an outcome that is based on good. And so if you leave it up to chance, that gives you the ability to fail. It gives you also the opportunity to run into different kinds of struggles and things of that nature. So the word if, I usually call it the crossroad word because it leads you in a direction that you can go either way. You can either believe and place a positive to it, or you can do and place a negative to it. So that word if gives you a speculation. It puts you out in a place where there's no definite. We're leaving it up to chance. If this happens, if this doesn't happen, we need to be more focused on saying directly what we hope for and desire and not leave it up to chance. I believe this will happen. That is going to happen. Because true success and empowerment comes with positive energy and direct energy. We can't leave a wishy-washy there and expect to succeed. Most successful people do not use this word if a lot. Because if is, again, keeping us in a state of a confusion. We can't make a definite, grounded decision based on something that doesn't exist. So be mindful when you use that word to, at the very least, choose a positive. Always end on that positive. So if this happens, choose something positive. It's so very important for you to realize that by using that word, you're giving yourself no real direct path. You're kind of just saying, well, maybe. And true success, empowerment, enlightenment, growth comes from direct, positive statements. So the law of attraction, remember, is that the universe will listen to what you speak, and it will receive and now return what you're offering to it. And if you're sending it a confusion, especially if it has a negative attachment to it, well, that's what then you're going to receive. And so many of us don't want that. So that's a very frustrating word. It's not the worst, though. And I want to go to the second word, which is the word trying. So many people use this word. And I call this the easy out. Because we use this as a comfort for ourselves. We use this word so that we can actually feel valid in some way. It's an excuse word for us. So how many times have you said to yourself or anyone around you or heard someone else around you say, I'm trying? Trying is not doing. So if you intend on succeeding, if you want to move forward, if you want to accomplish, then you need to be, again, more direct with your words. I will. I can. I am. But trying leaves you that, I tried. And that's an excuse. Because truly successful, empowered people will use conviction and their strength and their mindset to focus only on good and positive, as if they've already lived the success. I always speak of successful people don't entertain negativity. And in some ways, trying is negative because it gives us that little stroking of the ego. Well, I made an attempt, but that's not succeeding. When you say I am and I will, so instead of saying I'm trying to stop smoking, say I am stopping smoking. I will stop smoking. That musters up the strength and the integrity and the honor of your soul, and that will then click in to give you more strength and ability to do that, to accomplish it. But using the word trying, it just gives you a soft, comfortable pillow to relax on that you made an effort and it wasn't meant to be. So when you use this word, please use it with direct, precise, detailed positive. Use that instead of that word trying. Trying is a very frustrating word because so many people never meet their goals because they tried. How many people do you say, I did, and I am, and I will, and I'm so happy that I did? Empowerment comes with success. It comes with there is no other option but I'm going to achieve. And so that word can be very frustrating. Pay attention and be mindful of how many times you use it and listen to again how many people around you are using it. It is a very, very strong deterrent of our empowerment. So you need to always encourage yourself by positive affirmations, positive words, detailed and direct communication. And that is how you will get to the place that you really want to be. The third word is can't. This word drives me up a wall. It just infuriates me because there's nothing that we can't do. Would you ever tell a child that they can't do something positive? Now, of course, you're not going to encourage them to do something negative. But as a human being, so many of us put ourselves down a dead-end road. I just can't do this. I can't. It's more that you won't. So many of us end our journey of success and empowerment by using this word. I can't. I can't is leaving you no other option but to fail. And so how much do you want to be happy? How deep is your desire to succeed and be the person and have the life that you want? Well, then you will never use that word can't. I hear this so often with so many people, and it's such a defeating word because there's no battling it. You're saying this is the end. And when you're telling your brain this, when you're convincing your brain of, I can't, it doesn't have an ability to change anything because you've convinced it there's no other way. So be mindful of this word. Pay attention to how often you use it. And instead of using the word, I can't, you can simply change the verbiage to, I need to learn how to. I will begin to. I will entertain the thought, but never say can't. You will limit your success and your potential level by using that word. It's extremely, extremely important that you correct yourself when you use it. And over time, your brain then will create a new habit to feed you the positive rather than using that word so often. And here again, so many of us use that word and we don't even know that we're using it because it's become such habit. And in doing that, in using it as often as we do, we're limiting ourselves. We're keeping ourselves from the things that we truly desire, and we wonder why. And the most frustrating word, the one that drives me completely bonkers, is the word but. The word but oftentimes completely sabotages the good. So many times people use this word in a way that ends in negative. So let's say, for example, you ask somebody, oh, how are you doing today? And they'll say, oh, I'm good, but I'm tired. That word but changes the direction so often, not always, but often, to put you down a road of negativity. I call it the sabotaging word because if you listen to many people speak, again, it's very rare that they'll use that for the positive. So in especially counseling and helping people and guiding people, you may give them an enlightenment or a direction or a process or a purpose, and they'll go into the positive like, oh, that sounds really good, but we're back to square one. In fact, we're going behind the starting line by using that word. Pay attention to how often you say this. And when you do, is the statement after going to be a positive one or a negative one? People use this word tremendously. I hear it so often. And when you're mindful and you pay attention to the people's communication to you, you'll hear it. And you're going to be surprised at how many times you recognize this person sabotaging or changing their direction into a negative way. It's so unfortunate and sad. But these words that we use are really creating our reality. And we don't think of it as being so detrimental. We don't see it as being so bad. We're not really overwhelmed by it, but we should be. Because we're convincing our brain, which is then feeding our energy. We're also sending out a negative. One thing that I speak of an awful lot is that any statement that you end on is going to be the energy that creates the next situation. So again, by ending after a but with negative, you're going to now draw in a negative situation because it's energy. And if you're ending on a negative energy, you will then attract another negative because energy goes to energy, like goes to like. So when you say the word but, you are really having an opportunity to create something positive if you switch it. There are two types of people in this world. There are those who are empowered on their way to empowerment, growing and learning and enlightening, and then there's ones who are victims. And those two types of people will say the same situation. They'll answer a question completely differently. So the empowered person is going to answer in a positive way. And the negative, the victim, will answer in a negative. As like I said before, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm okay, but I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm sad. That's the victim because they know the negative. That's what their brain is teaching them. And so their brain is actually validating, supporting what it's been told for so long. But the person who's done the work, the person who's gone inside and accepts the positive, embraces the good, Someone who is looking at everything as an opportunity and chooses happiness and really looks at the light will answer that question differently, completely differently. How are you doing? Oh, I'm a little tired, but you know what? I'm actually really good. Do you see the difference? That's the difference between someone who is on their way to a successful lifetime, someone who is seeing life as an opportunity, grabbing on and learning their lessons, as opposed to someone who's allowing life to control them and playing that victim role. The words we use are extremely important for the outcomes that we desire. These 4 words, if you're mindful of using them in a positive way or even lessening them in your daily routine, I promise you, you will start creating a better, more positive, and empowering energy, which will then be an attraction for all the things that you truly desire. If you don't, you will stay in this gray area. You will continuously cause yourself to feel like you're chasing your tail. There's nothing that you can't do. I promise you. And trying is not succeeding. You can and you will. If anything happens, it's for the good. And but is all good. Use your words to create the reality that you desire. Take responsibility for yourself. For one day, pay mindful attention to the way in which you speak, the way that you respond, the way that people respond to you. Notice the interaction and the words that people choose. And then watch how the outcomes of their lives, your life, follows what you're saying. Choose to change the verbiage to positive. Use uplifting, encouraging words. Use words that are inspiring and encouraging. Even if you don't quite fully believe it, stay focused on the good. And I promise you, your life will change. I thank you for listening. I hope that this makes sense for you. Please check out my website at heavenshealingguidance.com. I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel, pass the videos on for anyone that you might think could benefit from this. And I wish you all so much happiness and joy. So please take care of yourself. God bless you. And I look forward to future endeavors with each and every one of you. Take care. Bye-bye.